Hey everybody, I'm back. Sorry that we're late into this draft of the first game of Navi versus Yellow Submarine. Unfortunately, it wasn't actually showing in the tournament, so I kind of had to panic and find the match myself. So we're at the end of the draft here. The Spectre versus a Morph. I have a fun fact for you all. I played a game against VTune once in a ranked pub years ago, and I learned this like literally 3 days ago. So that's just a fun fact. He beat me. That's all I have to say on that matter. We got a Disruptor, probably one of my favorite Dota heroes. Just got a Clock. Looks like it's a Clock 3. Not a huge fan of Clock 3 generally. I think it's much better as a 4. But we'll get to that in the game. We'll see how it performs. Right now, both teams looking for likely their mid laner. Of course, it could be a mid Morphling, but it is kind of a V-Tune hero. And indeed, they'll pick up the Ember. I always worry that I'm gonna say something totally wrong, by the way.
10 seconds.
Actually, it might not be a V-Tune morph. It might be a Fool. We'll just have to wait and find out. Oh, I've got to update the title! Real quick, one thing that I want to point out is this is like the other matches today. This is going to be a elimination match, which isn't that surprising on its own, but the main thing is whichever team wins will be the only CIS team in the tournament. These are the last two CIS teams. EU, just such a powerful region right now, it feels like it's impossible, really, for Navi or for CIS to really break in the way they used to into these games. They used to have the Navi, the VP, and like the Hellraisers all at once, but now, no. A V-Tune, very solid player, you know, there's still talent in the region. And that's what we like to see. The final pick for Yellow Submarines will be the Death Prophet. Okay, good. It is a V-Tune Morphling. The egg is not on my face today! And now, we're going to finally get into this game. I'm excited to see how it goes. I don't know Yellow Submarines too well. Obviously, I know Navi, as there's a very solid team, actually, even after all the shuffles. Not the Navi that I think most of us think of when the word Navi is said, but we haven't had that era of Navi in a long time. Now we will load into this game. As Gerald, I mean, he's got a good clock win rate, so perhaps he will show me wrong. Good. For some reason, my keybinds, any other casters in chat might be able to explain it. My keybinds to toggle the assist mode don't work unless I enable the casting, my casting config after the draft has started. I don't know why, but it does frustrate me slightly. And I think... Oh no, I don't think... Oh no, these guys just don't have their team set up. Okay, Navi is set up. I was wondering if there's a ticketing issue or something, because if we look at Look at tournaments watch now to prove it. Yes, the ESL 1 Germany says it doesn't have any matches going on right now. I don't know what the deal with that is. But it's okay. So we're in the game. So it's going to be collapse and so bad. You know what? Real quick, I'm going to do something. Sorry for a little bit of jank. I'm going to pull up the Wikipedia. I'm sure that's not what. Oh, it actually is. Never mind. Okay. Runes 2 for 2. Nothing exciting at all. These guys' pub names are also their pro names, it would seem. The only one I know is Miposhka. V-Tune. Starting well with the shotgun blasts. So, mid lane, Iceberg versus Mio here. The Ember versus the DP. Have to feel like both these heroes are going to farm fine, but I'd have to say, I feel like Ember wins this lane out. I'm not the king of mid matchups, you know? It's not my my specialty, as it were, but you have to say I think it'll go that way. The bottom lane, we could definitely see a kill onto this Disruptor, but Spectre is going to be a very difficult kill. Meanwhile, down bottom, I don't think V-Tune's going to die, man. He'd have to get LSA'd into a silence and then not have the chance to morph, especially once he hits level 3. Just doesn't seem likely to me. But we'll see. Maybe I'll be proven wrong. So far, the game is very quiet. Except for Miposhka, who takes a lot of damage from Roger. That's more what I'm expecting to see. The brawl between the supports. You know, the damage being dealt. I'm gonna be interested to see what General comes up with this game. Usually my issue with pause 3 clock is it feels like a pause 4 clock. Like, I don't usually feel that difference in impact. So I'll have to see if General can really show us the value of this 3 clock. As I think, thought I heard a salve, but maybe it's just amongst all the madness. V2 is taking quite a bit of damage, but there's only the LSA to worry about, so he will be just fine and can always get healed up by Always Wanna Fly. This time he will just salve up. It's in the mid lane. Just brawling it out. Right now, both of them farming just fine. Obviously, Mio has the Spirit Siphon, and Iceberg has the Searing Chains. Oh, Sleight of Fist. Whoops. Sleight of Fist and the Flame Guard. So I think they're both going to be just fine. I'll let you know, I will have to disappear to grab the door for a second in a minute. But hopefully I won't miss anything important. Knowing my luck, I'll miss a First Blood. Seeing Roger and Miposhka still beat each other up. I have to wait for a moment for things to look very calm, as in the mid lane. He takes a lot of damage, but he has a salve. Okay. Worried, because door happening is coming. How unprofessional of him. But I have to say, this was a very shotgun decision by me, as is all things. I kind of realized that my sleep schedule was a bit messed up, and I need to fix it, and I figured, hey, why not cast some Dota while I'm at it? Get myself that experience, get myself that stamina, as I am casting every series today, even if they're all 3 games. Here, the First Blood now coming out. V2 wanted the last hit more than the hero last hit, it would seem. General might be the next to fall here, although with the battery assault, no, he is forced to back off. Neither hero will die. Roger, only level 2, doesn't have access to that third point. It's actually a gang was coming out from Ember. Here's the door. Get it in a second. Sure. Nothing's going on. This iceberg. Big wave behind him. Still very even across the board. V2, though, actually struggling quite a bit here. They're far behind in the CS department compared to the Spectre on the opposing team. But he'll recover, I'm sure. Morphling's kind of one of those heroes who will always find farm, I do believe. Look at this iceberg. He pops the Searing Chains, which I think was a misplay, and will now be forced to give up the bounty for it. And oh man, Maposhka will deny the other bounty. Alright. I don't think we're going to see any deaths. Hold on, we have something happening down bottom. V2 getting forced back, so bad. I'm going to go run and get the door. I'll be right back. Let's hope that nothing has happened. Oh god, something's happening. Iceberg dies in the mid lane of the ultimate of Mio, but I get back just in time to comment on it. And luckily, I left myself in the mid lane as well, so I caught it. No T-Tours, and I commented at the very end to comment on it. It works out perfectly, boys. Calculated timing. General, though, in a bit of trouble. He has the cogs, though, so he will walk himself out. Yeah, that's a very early trade-off between those two heroes. But since they both died, I don't think either of them are really in the lead. But look at this very clear block of the winners in terms of the last hits here. Dire, Yellow Submarine, they're in a pretty good position here. Nember actually decides not to return to the mid lane, instead going bottom. Giving it looks like Rubik. And Morphling this mid lane. Although Morphling currently just hitting these creeps, and Roger just stacking and the best they can. Oh no, is the Ghost Mother gonna turn? Oh, unfortunate. Stack not quite there. But they might actually want to make a go onto Mio. The ping is there. V2 has to be careful. He's at a very significant level disadvantage, obviously, but at the same time, Mio, you can't just go in like this. This he will get lifted back under the tower, taking quite a bit of damage. But 2 Spirit Siphons, he should be out now. No, still has 1 more. He's 4 charges, it's maxed out. But will not be able to get any more last hits, as now it's Collapse's turn to be in trouble. It is a pretty long route. Iceberg will get the kill. So despite some interesting lane shuffles, right now looks like everything is going pretty okay for Navi, as they've sort of recovered from this awkward laning stage. But the real winner, Yadaro, I am assuming that's how you say it. He is farming up a storm, also going for that blade mail. Okay, so it is just a standard thing now. I'm just incorrect. Unfortunate for me, but look at this Roger and Iceberg. You're looking for something. They won't find Mio, but I think they will find... Will they find either Collapse or So Bad? No. And this Spectre has been left alone. This is honestly pretty scary. General is finding some stacks, but not really in a position to take them as of yet. Now Rubik will go to contest the Spectre, I suppose. I mean, someone's got to do it. Oops, V2. He's doing pretty okay for himself. Has got pretty well caught up despite his little bit of a rough start. Still behind the Spectre, but still doing okay for himself nonetheless, until Collapse kills always want to fly. I actually went to the totally wrong lane here. Iceberg will kill so bad, but Collapse will kill Iceberg in exchange. Man, this is a blazingly quick start for Yellow Submarine. They are doing work here, and I do believe they have a Death Prophet ulti, so they may look to siege the tower with it. No, they'll just hit it because it's already half health. In response, V2 gonna look at the mid tower, but that's gonna be a much harder ask. In general, you can't fight Yatoro at this stage. This man's got a full Blade Mail. Blade Mail before boots. Rubik as well, he's gonna get caught. Roger stuck in the static field, and Miposhka with the blocks, but Roger goes up to the high ground, but he will fall. No survival for you. Yellow Submarine. This is very commanding. V2 is forced off the rune too. And there's a hook shot. They will, it looks like, kill Miposhka here. Indeed they will. Have that going for them, and Morphling is going for, it looks like, a relatively fast Manta style. But with this Siege Creep, with the Death Prophet ultimate, I have to imagine that they are just going to press R. Well, the creep wave's gone, so maybe the opportunity will not be afforded to them. TP going for the Yule's Scepter here. Going to be a pretty quick pickup. Yatoro. Will he get caught out by General? I don't think so. General doesn't have the hook shot, so he's just able to walk away from it. Now, the lane's kind of quiet down again. Looks like they are going to take the stack before Radiant would be able to do anything about it. However, I just want to apply. Looks like he might want to do something about it now. Just gets dewarded for his trouble. As these two cores, Mio and Yatoro, they are escalating quite quickly. But it looks like there is a rotation coming out from the side of Yellow Submarine. They've smoked up, and Miposhka has the 3 levels in Glimpse, so would be a very possible kill. I'm not sure where his Fire Remnant is, but it's about to fade. This would be the time to catch him if they're going to. As actually, he goes in. Now goes into the trees, may try for a TP out. Indeed he will, but with a static field and the Glimpse, he will not get out. He will get taken out instead. The Rupture, just thrown on for good measure. I don't think you're getting out, Iceberg. As he puts down the Remnant to maybe get himself back into the lane. Or I do believe you could actually dodge the Laguna Blade with it, but it's not going to matter. Roger. He doesn't have mana, but he has the stolen Crypt Swarm, so when he has mana, he can push out real well. But Mio with this will, it looks like, take out this mid-tier one. The fortification is there, though, and, well, Mio can just stand outside of tower range and let Ghosts do their thing. It looks like Dire's not gonna let Radiant try and fight them, man. It was a Spectre ultimate, but it sounded very strange to me. I'm gonna find Clockwork here without a doubt, and they're also going to get a glimpse back onto Roger. The Yellow Submarine are doing a fantastic job. They're gonna get a tower. They're also gonna get Always Wanna Fly. Mio doesn't even stay to commit to the tower. He'll just let Collapse get it. And holy moly! Yellow Submarine, they're playing some real clean Dota. You'll love to see it. I'm honestly a little bit worried. Yatoro over here is just going uncontested. B-Tune is catching up, but sure. Things are a little spooky right now. This Collapse is having a pretty free game as well. Look at that, Collapse just leaves his items on the ground and sends them back to base to get sold off. Doesn't need them anymore. V2 will take a tower though. There is definitely some kickback from Navi here. Yellow Submarine, though, they're making a big play to take over this Radiant jungle of Navi. Navi wisely doing the very same with the smoke, and they might find Getaro, but no, they don't quite get him. They don't go deep enough into the jungle, and they'll be forced to leave. B2 alone will not be enough to kill him. But they re-smoke on Navi. They want to get a kill, and this time they know they're going in the right direction. It's the only place left for them to be at. And a good Searing Chains from Iceberg will start this fight off. And unfortunately, General gonna get glimpsed back, but I don't think it's gonna matter too much. Just look at DP on the sidelines, trying to go into the backline. Miposhka will dodge the hook shot. Now it's Collapse versus General. They'll finally lose Miposhka, and V-Tune is here dealing good damage, and right now it's just a 2-for-2 as Mio only finds Roger and now finds himself perhaps a bit too deep. The chains will not be there thanks to the Yules. So, the supports for the supports out of all that. Except, for some reason, they still feel strong on the side of Yellow Submarine, and they're going to keep going. Now electing to back off. But Spectre was farming that entire time. Oh god, look at the ancient stacks. Spectre going to have to make good use of the dispersion and the blade now to farm these stacks. General is actually going for a fast Aghanims, an interesting build-up that I usually don't see. Iceberg gets silenced, but he's a hard catch, as he will now just probably remnant away, though it's expiring very quickly. No, he will get it off the LSA, doesn't quite connect. Now look at this, it's Radiant's turn to start going. General has the hookshot, will connect onto So Bad. And with the Blade Mail, too, it will be very difficult for So Bad to get out. Although, I think he will just manage to until Iceberg gets the Slight onto him. Now, though, Roger, he's the one in trouble. But with the magic damage immunity, he will get out. So, they get a free pick onto the position 4 of Yellow Submarine. Top B2 now, farming away. Catching up with the Spectre. Might even soon surpass him. Getaro getting closer and closer to that Manta, but not quite there yet. Looks like Radiant might want to make a play. General doesn't have the hook shot for 10 seconds. But they found him anyways, and this is a very dead Spectre. No Haunt will save you, and it actually goes down after the Haunt, so even more trouble. However, similarly in trouble is Iceberg, who's muted up, doesn't manage to walk out, but the ultimate is there. He tries to TP home, but he will not be allowed to. He does manage to dodge quite a bit of damage, but I think he's going to pop here, and indeed he will, but V-Tune comes in on the backlines and pops So Bad in exchange. Now Mio has to be a bit careful as V-Tune, he's turned the siphons and the silences around. But no, Collapse is in as well. Now, though, he has move speed. They will not be able to easily catch him, and V-Tune is forced to dive away, but he gets glimpsed back. Yellow Submarine, a good hook shot, though. I think Collapse will fall. Indeed, he will. Yeah. Oh, Mios, he was healed up by the Ghost. General is in the area, but the lift will prevent the Cogs from dealing any more damage. Overall, though, you're still happy with that trade, I think, if you're on the side. Actually, maybe you're not since you lost the Spectre. Never mind. A one fight for Navi. That fight took so long, I kind of forgot about the Spectre. Butcher. Very poor, going for the 4-step. Not too surprising. Although, honestly, usually you'd hope to see that Blink Dagger on the Rubik. If you're playing the Rubik, it feels rough to get that 4-staff sometimes. Ember has the Spirit Vessel, so that Siphon going to be much less powerful, as long as he does not die too soon to use it, of course. And the Manta's coming up at exactly the same time. V-Tune has now overtaken the Spectre. And is going next for the Scotty, electing to avoid the shotgun this game, despite his love for the taunt. And a BKB is going to come out for Mio. Not surprising at all. It's a very standard DP item. I've got to say, I love this this sort of familiar build-up. You know, we've got Manta, Scotty coming out for Spectre. And meanwhile, as Yetero just purges off those chains, Morphling also going Manta Scotty. Of course, their build-up a bit different, but it's interesting to see these cores getting the same items. As that scan comes out, but it then fades, so Dire not convinced that it's a Roshan attempt, but Yetero has to be careful. Many Radiant heroes are in the area. In fact, Iceberg will take the moment to go, but with the DD, Yatoro has to be very careful. The DD will get purged off now, though. The Manta, though, have they decided to back off? Yes. As Yellow Submarine actually do a great job of making a fast push. Oracle is TPing in, as well as the rest of Navi, but Oracle will fall quickly, unable to run away, and now Iceberg, he's in trouble, as he actually kind of pushes himself in deeper. Yellow Submarine are going to take this tier 2. And this feels very surprising. Obviously, Yellow Submarine felt like they were in a good position this game, but not this good a position. Also, it looks like they may catch out Roger. Roger trying to get out as the stolen Spectral Dagger. But, actually, Yatoro maybe could have gone for that if he so desired. Or, sorry, what I'm really thinking is, I don't think he gets slowed unless he gets hit by them. Oh, no, it would slow him as well. Never mind. Sorry, I was unfamiliar with that little mechanic there. I thought that since Rubik didn't hit Spectre with the dagger, Yatoro would have been able to catch up with him very easily, but turns out that's not the case. Doesn't matter, though, as now it's Navi's turn to make a play. Not going to work out. Mio's actually going to pop the smoke from his own high ground and get a nice double silence, and Yatoro's going to come in off of that, doing very good damage. The Oracle is going to drop here. I do think, no, will manage to get the false promise on himself, but the glimpse back from Iceberg somehow gets out of that silence. Always want to fly. Will also heal himself up, so far, no losses. And I think Dire are going to be forced to back off. They used a lot of ultimates. Not much online for them. I really don't know how that silence didn't connect on the Ember. I'm not sure if it went down maybe a little bit too late, but it really felt like he was supposed to be silenced there. Now, Yellow Submarine are going to be forced to play a little bit passively while they wait for these big cooldowns to come up. Or not, as they decide, in true CIS fashion, let's smoke and get a kill. What will they find? Always want to fly in a position to pop the smoke. But actually, Roger might be the one to fall, as they will see this. Collapse does have the Yules. Have 3 heroes in the area. They're not willing to commit to the high ground without vision. A wise decision, as now Always Want to Fly backs out. With that vision, they'll actually find General. And that's probably the best kill that they could have gotten. The glimpse is going to come out. The hook shot's not going to matter. And General basically kills himself with that hook shot. And just gets sent back to his death at the hands of Collapse. But, oh my! Hold on! He had the blade mail. He bursted. Oh, I didn't even notice that. He destroyed Collapse. He blade mailed and hook shotted out, and it just killed Collapse. Now though, pretty ambitious Roshan. I do think they're going to get it here though, but it's such a good timing. The silence is there though. Will they take out the Aegis immediately? Indeed they will, at the cost of Iceberg's life. Now Mio trying to go aggressive on his own, but he's actually taking a lot of damage to V2, and that BKB not saving him, but the stun from Sobad to prevent V2's damage might be enough. It's up in the air. V2 taking a lot of damage, and he'll actually pop. Next up on the chopping block is going to be the Oracle and a big glimpse in onto Roger. Roger stands no chance himself. That's an Aegis and 4 kills, and you don't even mind if it got popped. As Spectre, I have to imagine, actually went for, yeah, a defusal before this Scotty. That's just such a very good fight from Yellow Submarine. Almost a brilliantly stolen Aegis, but the preemptive ultimate from Miposhka to prevent the mobility of Iceberg's Ember Spirit. You love to see it. That's just some good high-level thinking. But now, Eid grows. 8k for Yellow Submarine. Yoda Plus actually puts them at a 90% win rate. Doesn't feel quite that insane for me here. Maybe after that Roach fight, I guess, but I'd say it feels like 75. I wouldn't even give them, like, exceptionally strong odds. V-Tune is very farmed on this Morphling, and it's very powerful. That's just completed up his Eye of Scotty now. Mio going into that Shiva's Guard. Go ahead real quick, pull up the items. We'll see what we're looking at. If anything strikes out to me in particular. Not particularly. It's not really any big change in game states, but with this, Dire will smoke up. They have a Haunt if they elect to use it, and at this stage, they might actually catch out V-Tune, who sits on the high ground all alone. But no, Always Wanna Fly will eat the gank. V-Tune will survive. I don't think Yellow Submarine knew how close they came to getting a bigger kill. But I think they're still likely to push in this tower. They have the Exorcism. They're actually not committing for it, playing very slowly for their advantageous position. Instead, it looks like they're electing to go for a tier 1. Collapse will stay behind to push the wave by nuking it down. The net worth between Yadaro and V-Tune is so neck and neck. All 4 Yellow Submarine heroes just sitting on the high ground, just doing a classic choke-out maneuver. You know, this was really big a little while ago, where teams would just sit in this triangle and choke out 2/3 of the map. But now, they'll smoke up. They still have the Haunt and Radiant. It looks like they think that they're just going to be sitting behind the Spectre, but that is not the case. Because now with the Haunt coming in, the Silence as well, the Oracle will drop before he's able to get anything off, and Roger will get pulled back too. Somehow in the midst of that, General falls as well. I don't know, it does take quite a bit of damage, but I don't think he cares, as he will just gladly sit back and let his team besiege this tier 2 tower. As it's just V-Tune and Iceberg now, and they have to be a little bit careful. As a glimpse, and the Manta dodge is not there, but he does manage to get off the Strength Morph in time, so he is very tanky. The Silence is there. He's taking a lot of damage and running out of attributes to shift. Will he drop? It's going to be close. He manages to queue himself out, and no, he will not. Mio forced to pop the BKB in order to get out. Iceberg trying to chase, but this is maybe a little bit too deep, as Collapses in the area, and we'll get the Silence. No. Dodged out. Doesn't really matter, as Dire backing off anyways. Yellow Submarine happy to take what they can get, but probably a little sad that they didn't get that kill. And there is, for those of you that don't know, the brilliant little statue ward. If you put a sentry on the high ground, that ward is not detected. It's a big one that's been coming up, and that smoke is scanned out. So, Navi, they're being read like a book right now. But will it be enough, as Collapse actually is going to be the one that gets gone on. But a big glimpse, there's not really any follow-up damage, and suddenly Roger's in a bit of a dangerous position. Force that from Laposhka will save Collapse. But the tier 1 tower looks like it may fall. The Fortify comes out just in the nick of time. Iceberg's Courier will fall, and that was the majority of his Aghanim Scepter. Now look at this pivot from Radiant. They're going to find Yadro here. As Roger, unfortunately, doesn't quite get the lift off. Not sure what's going on here. As he had the opportunity, and his team was behind him. Look at this. Yadro, though, he's decided that he's going to kill Roger with the help of the Laguna Blade. That man will pop. And with that kill, Dire may look to make a turnaround play here. Roshan's still not going to come up for a little while, at least 2 minutes. But Mio, he's found V2, he's actually hit him. And the glimpse from General, oh no, the Yules comes out! So Bloodseeker doesn't take damage. That counterplay, fool me once, shame on me! Or, fool me once, shame on me. Excuse me. I do believe that is how the saying goes. But, he dodges it with that Yule Scepter. We don't have to complete that phrase. That turn of phrase, as it were. V-Tune starting to fall behind the Spectre. Spectre really overtaking in a significant way for the first time in this game right now. I just, real quick, want to see at the win percentage. Man, I mean, it feels definitely like it's Dire favor. Don't get me wrong. But even now, my gut's only telling me like 80%. You know, these fights feel like they're almost going Radiant's way. Certainly, though, Dota Plus knows something that I do not. As Yadro has been doing a brilliant job of just being a Spectre. You know, farming the other side of the map and being in a good position to fight. What a circle, as all 5 Navi members are trying to smoke out. But I think they have been sniffed at by Yellow Sun. No one being caught yet. Roger will get the TP out. But actually, boys want to fly. There's no cancel, but it's in a very aggressive position. B-Tune finishes the BKB. It's a very good item to prevent this Disruptor from putting his life in danger. The Roshan 2-minute spawn. That is pretty feels bad, man. If you're on the side of Yellow Submarine, you have to be very careful not to make a critical error in these next 2 minutes. Wow, look at that. The ward here is doing work, not quite in vision. Poshka has the sentry, but confident that there is no vision. And actually, that might give Navi the grounds they need to start a fight, as they know exactly where So Bad is, and they will immediately burst him out. But what a beautiful ultimate from Laposhka. V2 does BKB through it as Ember bounces around on the back line. Will take out the Oracle, will instantly buy back, but there is no buyback on the Clockwork, who did die. The Glimpse is there. The Manta dodge unfortunately mistimed once again. V2 is going to drop here and doesn't have a buyback of his own. Without a buyback on your Morphling, now I'm starting to agree with that percentage. As they're going to take a tier 3 and definitely a lane of racks here. I don't think there's anything that could stop them. The Fortify might delay them for a brief amount of time, but you have really nothing to prevent this without that Morphling. With that as well, a glimpse back. Oh no, the Oracle, you bought back, always want to fly. You don't want to die again, but he's been caught out, he's been silenced up, and he will drop regardless. However, it looks like Yadro is getting a little bit weak. But an instant Yule out onto General. General will not be able to get this kill. He pops the Blade Mail. She'll deal good damage back into Collapse, but I don't have high hopes for him getting out. He's going to force. He does have a hook shot, but actually he won't be able to use it, and he will drop. V-Tune is coming back online very soon. Doesn't have much support behind him, and with no V-Tune, I imagine, or with no V-Tune, excuse me, with no Spectre, I have to imagine that Dire are going to back away, and indeed they will. Miposhka might get caught, but actually they're not afraid to go back in, it seems. Spider Legs from Roger trying to close the distance. Miposhka has to be very careful not to get caught out, but he does have a glimpse, and with that ultimate onto Roger, Roger is forced to run away. Is the glimpse going to be able to come out? No, because it's going to go out onto Iceberg instead, and then he'll get hit by the LSA. It's perfectly timed, and that's just a dead Roger. And suddenly, once again, you have 5 heroes bearing down on you. Roshan is up, though, and Dire will make the maneuver to take that instead. All except for the DP, who decides to go bottom, get some bounties, finish up that Octarine core ASAP. Without that Ember, it feels like such a rush fight into this Roche pit, but it looks like Radiant are going to try. General V-Tune both in the area. The flare does come out, but now General has revealed himself. General trying to juke around. Will he be spotted out? It doesn't look like he will, but V-Tune, he goes in, and he almost takes out Miposhka, but he gets a good Glimmer Cape, and so bad also getting out. Aegis still not falling just yet. Yadaro will get it, and he will get the Aegis, but I do think the cheese was picked up by the Clockwork. Indeed it was. So far, Oracle has gone down. The cheese comes out for General. General, though, I do have to imagine he's going to pop here. And V-Tune, he's the real danger target here, as he has no buyback still. In fact, none of the Radiant here, so he's going to try and TP out. The silence isn't going to be enough to get them vision. Doesn't seem. Roger, he will fall. But that was an Aegis for the Spectre, and another very good fight for them. They only lose their supports, and I have to imagine this is going to turn into a Tier 3. Or excuse me, not a Tier 3. A lane of barracks. This Iceberg actually decides that he wants to go in. He goes in onto the Spectre, but the Spectre gets a quick bash. Yadaro might go down. That's only the Aegis, though, and you've just committed a lot for that. The TP is there. Is it going to be enough? No! Yule Scepter. Now Yadaro, he manages to get the stun. He manages to get the dagger to secure the kill with Mio. And now suddenly V-Tune, he's in a lot of danger as they're losing. Always want to fly, and V-Tune, doesn't matter. GG's call. A fast, decisive game from Yellow Submarine, as they just take out Navi in short order. Game felt like it was in their hands from the start. You can quickly get into the graphs too. Yeah, that's what it looks like from net worth. That's what it looks like from win percentage. Not too surprising. An exciting game 1, guys. I will see you here for game number 2 as soon as it's available.
Delicious.